Good evening. I'd like to call to order the City of West Bend Licensing Board for July 11th. Note that we do have a quorum, and we have 6 items on the agenda. The first being approval of the minutes, the Licensing Board regular meeting minutes from June 20th.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
That works. Thank you. Sorry if there's any discussion or corrections. Hearing none, then all those in favor, start by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. On to agenda items for consideration. Number 2, secondhand article and jeweler dealer license for Premier Gold, Silver, and Coin, hosted at Hampton Inn, 1975 South 18th Avenue from July 19th, 23rd, 2022.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. It's been motioned seconded. And any comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, so by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you. That passes. Number 3, appointment of new agent Gary K. Bacon of Gary's Place, formerly known as Vino Convolo at 110 Wisconsin Street.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. It's been motioned second. Any questions on that? Seeing none, all those in favor, so by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you. Number 4, Class B beer license for Local Hockey Partners LLC, Milwaukee Power Hockey at 2330 South Main Street.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Motion seconded. Any questions of this? Seeing none, all those in favor, so by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you. And number 5 are applications for and recommendation to council of an available non-reserve original Class B combination liquor license. I believe we just had one applicant, which is 6th Avenue Barbecue Pit.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. It's been motion seconded for 6th Ave. Any questions on that? And all those in favor, so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. And then we have the original Class B combination license for 228 North 6th Ave LLC, 6th Ave Barbecue Pit at 228 North 6th Ave.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. It's been motion second. And if there's no questions, all those in favor, so by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you. And having no further business for licensing board, I adjourn by the call of the chair.
Good evening. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Finance Committee. We have 3 items on our agenda this evening, first of which being the approval of the minutes for the Finance Committee regular meeting, June 20, 2022, 6:25.
Move to approve. Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Any discussion or corrections? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Second item on our agenda for items for consideration, resolution to accept donations to the Parks, Recreation, and Forest Department, presentation by Mike Jensch. Thank you,
Good
sir.
evening, everyone. This evening, our department is presenting some very impressive donations to the Common Council and to the City of West Bend. The first donation of $500 was donated by the Washington County Tavern League for Special Olympics. The next donation of $20 was donated by an anonymous donor for the Special Olympics program. The third donation of $1,100 was donated by various citizens for the All Ability Playground Fence Picket program. The next donation of $84.61 was donated by Drexel Building Supply for the All Abilities Playground Fence Picket fundraiser. The next donations, the next group of donations for $259,000 was donated by various citizens for the Regner Beach House renovation project. The specific commitments include $100,000 from West Bend Foundation, the Tim Schmidt Community Fund, $100,000 from West Bend Foundation, Monty Lund Community Fund, $50,000 from Oscar C. and Augusta Schlegel Foundation, $5,000 from the Westbury Bank Charitable Fund, or Charitable Foundation, the second installment. And the last 4 impressive donations are all beach bums. The first one is from Mike and Judy Phillips. The second is from Gary Britton. The third is from Mayor Chris Jenkins and family. Thank you, Mayor. And the fourth one is from the Early Risers Kiwanis Club of West Bend. The support from these community leaders helps improve the quality of life in West Bend, and these donations will help support some impressive projects and programs around our city. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. I'm looking for a motion on that resolution.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you to those fine individuals for all those donations. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate
you.
that. Third agenda item, resolution to terminate tax increment district number 8. Presentation by Jess Wilds.
Sure. Well, it's not much presentation. Everything is in your packet, but pleased to be here closing out a TID and starting that process tonight. TID number 8 is set to expire in September. It was started in 1999. And so this is just the first part of closing it out. The TID has no debt and it's in really good shape.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
With no more business before the Finance Committee, I adjourn by the call of the chair.
And good evening once again. I'll call to order the City of West Bend Common Council meeting for July 11th. Note that we do have a quorum with everybody here and accounted for. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty, we have 15 items on our agenda. The first being approval of the minutes, the Common Council regular meeting minutes from June 20th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Alan and Model. Any comments or corrections? Hearing none. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. That passes. Next up, we'll consent the agenda consisting of items 2 through 7.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Model. I'll give that to Kayla this time. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next up, our agenda items for consideration. Number 8, decision regarding non-reserved Class B combination license application, and that recommendation was for 6th Ave Barbecue.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Butchlick and Model. Any questions on this? Hearing none. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Number 9, approval of mayoral appointment of Alderman Zingsheim to the Waste and Recycling Committee.
Second.
Thank you, Kaler and Model. Sorry, Aaron, you came late in the game and you just got the short straw here, but we look forward to you serving. So all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Number 10, ordinance amending sections 21.07 and 21.13 of the Municipal Code regarding video service and cable communications. Anyone want to start this off? Otherwise, I can. Yeah, the short story is that these are ordinances that pertain to the TV communications committee that we've had for quite some time. I've chatted with some of the members, including the chair, who really just feels that the committee just kind of meets every once in a while, gets good updates and good information, but they don't really make any policy decisions for the city. So just felt like it was probably time to end that committee and remove it from our ordinances. But of course, thank all those guys for their service, because we've had some long-standing people on that committee. So.
Yeah, if you don't mind me saying
Yeah.
just a couple of things. I mean, it was great working with you, Jess, and you're doing a great job with that department and all the new employees. I'm excited to see how they're going to do. But when you brought up the idea of shutting that down, it kind of was like, well, I mean, we did have fun meeting. I mean, I'm sad that we're not going to be doing that anymore. But it kind of does make sense. So I certainly support it.
Still get together for drinks and hang out
Right,
if you
yeah,
want.
exactly.
Whatever works for you. All right, so I would like a motion to that effect.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Model and Alan. Any questions on that? Hearing none. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, guys. And we're on to reports. Number 11, a report by Alderman Berquist regarding the West Bend Fire Department Analysis Committee. Take it away.
Thank you, sir. The last meeting of the Fire Department Analysis Task Force was held on June 13th. Chief Kudik briefed the task force on the status of the 7 topics chosen from previous meetings as identified in the McMahon study. They are things like additional firefighters, fire stations, the Fire Prevention Bureau, response times, EMS interfacility transfers, training, future assignments, tasks, and requests. I'll start with additional firefighters. There was no update on the status of the SAFER grant. Results should be announced sometime in August or September. But there was good news concerning the Fox Valley Technical College hiring process. There were a record number of applicants with 48 of them. That includes 8 paramedics, checking the box to be considered for West Bend. That was good news. The fire department will also be creating a local list sometime in August. At this time, the fire department is fully staffed. Fire stations. Battalion Chief Gustafson provided information from the May Station Design Conference he attended. The fire department staff has been looking for new locations in the city, but was advised another committee would need to be formed to move any kind of property acquisition forward. The Fire Prevention Bureau. The Community Risk Reduction Report tasked to the office needs additional time to complete due to all the other services that they are providing. A part-time fire inspector position was posted, and they're working diligently to find the right person for that position. Response times. Concerning locations of stations for response areas in the city, the fire department staff met with Community Development Department and also updated the GIS response maps. Quotes were received for the Phoenix G2 station alert system totaling about $110,000. This expense will be included in department budgeting. Installation will start with dispatch and Station 3 first. EMS and interfacility transfers. The plan is to implement a new policy around the 1st of July. I've been told that that has happened. City calls and emergent or emergency calls will stay the same. Non-emergent calls will be done if no other units are out on calls or after 9 p.m. Return trips, that's from hospital to home, will occur only when staff is already at the hospital. A new EMS fee schedule went into effect June 1st. Training, the fire department is subscribed to the Lexipol training software and is currently using it to provide paramedic refresher training. Future assignments, tasks, or requests. This is just where we list when the next meeting is. It's a fancy title. The next meeting will be determined when additional updates are available. So we don't know when the next meeting is right now. So any questions, sir?
Any questions for Alderman Berquist? Yes, sir.
Yeah, you mentioned that there was a new fee schedule. Is this the one that we
Yes.
took action on a couple of weeks ago? Yeah.
That's correct. The EMS fee updates, yes.
Anything else? Thank you. Well, we're not done hearing from you, as we have a report by Alderman Berquist as well regarding the library board meeting.
Cool, thank you, sir. The last meeting of the library board was held on June 21st. After the Pledge of Allegiance, we approved the agenda, the minutes of the last meeting, and May expenditures. The financial report included a donation from Glacier Hills Credit Union for youth programs. Thank you very much to them. The library director's report started with a briefing on trustee training that will be on strategic planning. Training with Paul Roback, remember him? Yeah. Was pushed back to better accommodate scheduling. Steve reported several issues with exterior doors around the library and got some quotes to get them fixed. Staff has submitted for 2 grants, one being a Young Entrepreneur Program, and the other is a Resources for Seniors grant. In their research, staff members learned of multi-sensory environments, or MSEs. MSEs are used by people of all ages and abilities, but can be especially helpful to older adults, including those with dementia, and younger people, including those with special needs such as autism spectrum disorder. These products and spaces can provide many cognitive, physical, emotional, and social rewards for their users. In staff discussions, it came to light that a sensory space in the children's area might be a wonderful service to the community. The story room acoustics continues to get attention as we look into saving money on acoustic panels versus the sprayed-on foam approach that we had previously discussed. The permanent story walk has been installed and is planned to be used until the park closes for the winter. The July story walk has by now been put in place. So if you take a walk around the library, you'll see these really neat placards that the story walk has been installed on. Kind of neat. Finally, Steve provided some statistics from a report on quantitative standards by service populations. These are based on 2016 annual report data in which they used the population of 58,566 due to the fact that county residents are included in our number. We were down in most categories. Okay. Hours open, full-time staff per 1,000 service population, and materials expenditures per capita. The numbers show that our library is underfunded, and not open in enough hours, and have not been weeding the collection due to lack of staff and difficulty hiring additional personnel. And this isn't even COVID era numbers. This is pre-COVID. So we have some concerns. The library board president reminded us to review the strategic planning information that was sent to us in preparation of future sessions. The lone agenda item was to close the Fund 126, the countywide fund account, and transfer all the funds to the library Fund 21. This was done to streamline accounting practices and to eliminate the possibility of errors in the future. The next meeting of the board is scheduled for July 19th.
Thank
Any
you.
questions?
Any questions for Alderman Berquist?
Not a question, but, everybody knows Prime Day is coming up. Instead of ordering something online, go to the library. Get a book. You can even do that online if you want. They have a program for that.
Yes. Awesome. Anything else? Then on to number 13, a report by Alderman Kaler regarding the Park and Rec Commission meeting.
Thank you. Park and Rec Commission met on June 30th, discussed the fall 2022 program fees, accepted some sculptures, one called Full Circle, which will be placed in Veterans Park, and another sculpture titled Swimmer, which will be placed either at the north entrance to the beach house or along the Riverwalk. A couple of updates from Courtney Cox Paulson, the Conservation Supervisor. Naturalist and adventure camps have been underway, and campers have been having so much fun exploring nature and trying new activities they have never been exposed to previously. Raising Monarchs program taught families how to raise monarch caterpillars was another successful event with over 50 participants. Second Saturday Stewards began on 5/14 and will run from 9 to 11 on the second Saturday of the month through October, weather permitting. Have 50 new trees planted in the pine plantation. Thank you to the local West Bend Girl Scout troop and the Hartford High School. The trees will continue to be irrigated weekly by Scott's Landscaping. New accessible trail. The construction of this trail is set to start in August or September. Update from Jackie Maynard, Tourism Events Coordinator. Editing of the Fall Activities book is nearing completion and will be distributed in the Friday, August 5th and Sunday, August 7th, Washington County Daily and Sunday newspapers. And with the hard work and assistance of the park staff, three-day weekend softball tournaments have been successfully presented at Quas Creek Park. The final large weekend tournament of the season will take place July 22nd through 24th. And each of these tournaments bring hundreds of overnight visitors to our city, and Dan and his team do an excellent job of making the facilities look and play great. An update from Dan Farver, Park and Forestry Superintendent. Restoration around the beach house and new asphalt path has been started and is moving along well. Staff has begun expansion of the Glacial Blue Hills parking lot to help out with the increase in users. Staff has continued to update the city street tree inventory on inclement weather days. And again, the Quas Creek tournaments that they have prepped and worked those weekends to get those fields in shape. The Riverside entrance off of Indiana Avenue has started to be replanted and upgraded with new vegetation to coincide with the Riverwalk work downtown. A contractor was brought in to replace rotten fascia boards on the restrooms in Regner near the pavilion, and storm damage from a couple weeks ago was also handled by staff. A couple of reminders, the donations Mike went through during Finance Committee, so thank all those wonderful donors again. German Night, excuse me, and City Appreciation is this Wednesday from 5 to 10 at Regner Park. Regner Fest is Friday from 4 to 11, Saturday from 10 to 4. Yours truly will be bartending on Friday night from 7 to 11. Mud Run is Saturday, starting at 8 o'clock. I will be there at the finish line. And Regner Rocks, Thursday, 7/21, from 5:30 to 9. So lots of activities coming up down at Regner Park. Thank you.
Sounds great. Any questions for Alderman Kaler? Randy, do you mind giving a little update, at least on the Regner Pond? Because I know you guys have met once, right?
Yeah, just an update on Regner Pond Committee. We met once, just kind of went over our structure, introduced all the members, got some ideas. We will be meeting again tomorrow night, and at next council meeting, I'll give you an update on where this committee is going.
Great. Thanks so much. Next up is a report by Alderman Dolnick regarding the Plan Commission meeting.
We had 2 public hearings for conditional use permits, and then each of those, when they were approved, was followed by site plans, which we also approved. One is going to be a hair salon at the corner of Jefferson and Barton on what is currently a vacant lot. So there'll be a new building there, and we approved the conditional use permit because that's a conditional use for that zoning area. And West Bend Packaging at 2805 East Progress Drive wanted a permit and a site plan, which both were approved for a screened outdoor storage area for their business.
Sounds great. Any questions for Alderman Dolnick? Yes, sir.
Just one question, Alderman Dolnick. You mentioned the conditional use as a hair salon, because that's business or a service business. It seems like a hair salon is a service business.
Mark, would you please cover that?
That specifically is a conditional use within that district. It is that type of district, because of the nature of certain service and quick changeovers, the prior councils made that a conditional use within that. There's, I think that was a B5 district up there, which is typically allowed to intrude within residential areas, which is another reason. This probably could have been zoned differently, but that would have been a spot zoning, so rather than changing, asking to change the district, we provided the conditional use permit.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Mark, for answering the other Mark. Any other questions for Alderman Dolnick? Then we'll go into our closed session item. Number 1, entertain a motion to adjourn into closed session pursuant to state statute section 19.85 para 1E, deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. And this is for the development at 105 South Forest Avenue and 235 East Water Street.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Alan and Monel. If we could please have a roll call vote.
Alderman Butchlick.
Aye.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
Alderman Berquist.
Aye.
Alderman Kohler. Alderman Dolnick.
Aye.
Alderman Aaron's.
Aye.
Alderman Model.
Aye.
And Alderman Zingsheim.
Aye.
Thank you. We will be adjourning from closed session, but I'll open up to the council if there's any announcements for the good of the order.
I would just like to thank everybody that showed up on the 4th of July to help the HPVA do some concessions after the parade. It was wonderful. I think we broke our own personal record, but that was just from 2 years, so hopefully we'll do better next year.
It's a great time. Yes, sir.
I'd like to thank the police and fire department and the other city employees that work to provide a safe and enjoyable 4th of July in West Bend.
Absolutely. Thank you. I'll just echo what Alderman Kaler said, that we got German Fest and Ninja Mud Run, some exciting events that bring a lot of the community together, even those outside of our community, to come check it out. I know my kids will be racing. We'll have a lot of fun. And then I also wanted to give a big thank you to the community. I did a little fundraiser myself at the farmers market this past weekend. I grabbed my guitar, sang some songs, and raised a good amount of money for the All Abilities Playground. So thank you so much to the community for coming out to support that great project as well. And with that, we'll go into closed session. Have a great night.